From the midweek match, it's Chris Gloucester making his return from injury, Talon Maples, Zico Bailey, and Marco Micheletto.
Yeah, a more balance to the team. It looks like Gloucester on the left. Abdi Mohammed had to play on the left-hand side and didn't have his best game out there. Maples back into centre-back. Those two centre-backs there have created a great partnership. And midfield looks like a more balanced midfield as well, with Bailey and Micheletto in there.
And this is how the visitors will line up for head coach Danny Cruz. It's 3 changes from the side that coasted to a 4-1 victory over Monterey Bay last weekend. 50 goals scored this season as they chase the championship's all-time record. We're underway from the lab here. It's New Mexico United versus Louisville City FC. Home soil.
The one worrying thing is the one loss and the one draw are now back-to-back games. So that's something that I'm sure they'll be looking to put right. And again, we keep saying the same thing over and over again. Formidable opponent tonight. But again, getting people like Gloucester back, Maples back in there as well, Micheletto, Bailey able to help out, Hosu in midfield as well.
Louisville looking to ask some questions here. Just 3 minutes in, and a shot goes in, and it's just over the crossbar of Alex Tambakis. That was Winder unleashing one.
I tell you what, that was not far away at all. It had some dip on it right at the end. It just clipped the net after it, and it just didn't quite dip in time, but it just kind of bounced out to him, and he thought, why not? Little tester early on, and you could see initially Tambakis was maybe a little worried, but then he pulled his hands away. He knew that it was going over, but a little warning shot already.
Yeah, and Elijah Winder, you look at the 21-year-old, he's already got 5 goals this season, Chris. So despite playing in somewhat of a holding midfield role, as we've seen, he's not afraid to have a pop. And we'll have a look here at Danny Cruz, his 4th season with the club. He's the youngest to coach in the championship final. He guided his team last season to a 5th-place finish. As Flanagan looking to cause some problems here and ultimately lost, able to clear it. This ball turned over. It's Daniel Bruce. Plays it forward for Flanagan. Flanagan lets one go with the left, but no problem for the keeper there, Chris.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be a theme tonight watching. Like you, I watched a little bit of the last couple of games for Lou City as well, and they are susceptible to, they always want to play out. They want to play the game, the inverted commas, the right way. They are susceptible to giving the ball away. If you get your triggers right and get your pressure right, you can really win the ball in good areas, and that's what happened there. Daniel Bruce able to pick off the pass. Just wasn't quite able to turn it into a really decent shot on goal there. Flanagan just lost his feet a little bit. Looks like he's maybe tweaked his ankle a little bit as well. He's walking a little gingerly right now.
That'll be something to keep an eye on. No activity over at the New Mexico United substitutes area. He'll be put right back to the test here against the big New Zealand international, Kyle Adams. Micheletto now plays this over for Hurst. Gloucester, as we mentioned, making his return from injury, Chris. He's been missed since the July 20th match here against Birmingham Legion when he left just 20 minutes in.
Yeah, that was 20 minutes in 2 crunching tackles on him as well. So good to see him back. Interesting to see Greg Hurst deployed on the left-hand side. Did that against El Paso Locomotive as well, and it worked out really well for them as well. So it's again, looks like Daniel Bruce is going to be charged with dealing with the centre-backs and trying to... A lot of the New Mexico United players look to play that.
They're a club who are also used to playing in front of very large crowds, Chris, as these are the top 2 ranking clubs in average attendance in the USL Championship as well. And so these players not easily rattled.
No, and I was telling you pre-game, it was saw a couple of purple jerseys walking around as well. So I don't know if that's residents here now and originally from Kentucky, or whether they travelled out here for the game. But it was good to see some away fans as well.
Wilson Harris trying to win the throw-in. It's awarded to New Mexico. Harris, as we mentioned, 12 goals to his name as New Mexico look to break. Here comes Gloucester as he has a go. Punched away by Loss. Micheletto, and his shot deflects off Daniel Bruce.
Kind of propels him into an attack, and that's the balance that we talked about. The left-footed left back just makes a huge difference. Came on in the second half. That was more because desperation, I would say. He was probably due a break, especially with such a big week. And when he came on, Caelan Ryden was was pushed up front. But yeah, I mean, like I say, Herbert and Maples have made a great partnership this year. That's why it's been so hard for Keelan Wrighton to get back in the team.
Turns this ball over. It goes back to Loss. Pressure there from Daniel Bruce, just forcing Loss to boot it away. Oh, and what a touch. That was Wilson. Here's Winder now. Back to Wilson. McFadden. He's dangerous from this area. And what an opportunity for Wilson Harris. Bailey able to get a touch on it, but Louisville back in possession. McFadden now. He's dangerous from these areas. McFadden eventually gets one into the box. And what a save from Tambakis, but the rebound is smashed home. It's Wilson finding the back of the net for Louisville City and opening up the scoring.
Knocked out to the top of the box. I can't see who that's Harris who takes the initial shot.
That is the end of the first half as New Mexico United trailing Louisville City FC. Daniel Bruce making his 131st league appearance for the Black and Yellow tonight. That is the most in club history. Bailey. Flanagan. That one's out for a goal kick.
You see that ball in behind. I think they were trying to put Zico Bailey in behind. It was just under hits. That forced him having to turn back on his right foot, which then slowed the attack down, allowed Louisville City to get bodies behind the ball. But again, some decent little interchanges for New Mexico United.
Comes Serrano again. Lays it off to Dia. Looking back for Serrano. Hosu marking and well done defensively there. It's going to be a throw-in for Louisville.
This is starting to turn into the track meet that you mentioned at the start in the pre-game as well, that maybe this might be a track meet. It's almost like you have a turn, now we have a turn, now you have a turn, now we have a turn for both teams up and down the field.
Throw-in here for Louisville. Headed away. Cleared out by Greg Hurst. Really cool tie with the Olympics and some of the track events too, right here in Albuquerque. Former University of New Mexico Lobo Josh Kerr, one of the fastest 1,500-meter runners in the world. He lives and trains here in Albuquerque. In fact, a lot of his training is done right across the street from where we are here at the University of New Mexico track. As this ball goes in, and the header from Diaz just over the bar of Alex Tambakis. And Louisville looking for a second.
Player there again, dangerous from so many different positions. What a ball in. It almost looks like Tambakis thinks he can get there, then as well.
Tambakis he was being closed down. McFadden heads it back in. Here's the goal scorer, Wilson. And a pop from deep, and that one goes just wide.
Can take care of it.
Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Here's Davila. And McFadden gets the initial save, and the one-handed save there from Tambakis. What a play there from the Greek goalkeeper.
Won it as well, and he has to adjust so quickly.
It was Winder who got the deflection. We're officially into New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Celebrating 30 years of great coffee since '94. 4 minutes added on here. A minimum of 4 minutes. Akale. Trying to dribble through some traffic. Down goes Akale. Was judged to have been out of control there. Back to Tambakis. Tambakis, he's been solid in goal this season for the Black and Yellow, Chris. 1.11 goals against average. And tonight, having conceded once.
Yeah, and that save he pulled off earlier on, the one-handed save early on in the second half. kept it at a 1-goal game. That's when Louisville City were really pushing to try and make it 2. Really kept New Mexico United in the game.
Akale able to slip by the defender. Akale goes down a little too easily there for the officials' liking as Hosu unleashes a rocket.
Whip on it. It looked like it maybe caught Loss a little by surprise. It came through so quickly. You can see just his fingertips there.
Over 200 appearances. You can see the veteran just wasting some time as we finally get back underway here. New Mexico, perhaps with one more attempt. Who knows how much time is still remaining on the officials' watch. Mohamed heads this forward, and it's just sent away to the corner here by Louisville. And that is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. A massive victory for the visitors as they shut out the black and yellow for the first time here.